Travis Kelce, the electrifying tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs whose larger-than-life personality has made him as much a cultural phenomenon as a gridiron great, found himself in hot water once again, this time courtesy of the NFL's fine ledger. The league's decision to dock him $14,491 for unsportsmanlike conduct during a heated September 14 matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles has ignited debates about passion versus penalty in America's most passionate sport. What began as a routine celebration after a stellar catch devolved into a gesture deemed obscene, thrusting Kelce back into the spotlight for reasons beyond his romance with Taylor Swift or his podcast banter. This incident, captured in stark high-definition glory and disseminated across social media like wildfire, serves as a microcosm of the fine line athletes walk between raw emotion and regimented decorum. The play itself was vintage Kelce, a 23-yard reception from quarterback Patrick Mahomes, the kind of highlight reel grab that sends Arrowhead Stadium into a frenzy. As the ball nestled securely in his grasp, Kelce spun toward the Eagles' sideline, his adrenaline-fueled exuberance manifesting in a gesture that pointed unmistakably toward his groin area, a crude, defiant salute to the opposing bench. In the moment, it elicited chuckles from teammates and roars from fans, but the NFL's review board saw it differently. The fine, announced on September 20th, underscores the league's zero-tolerance stance on actions that could be interpreted as taunting or vulgar, especially in an era where every twitch is scrutinized for marketability. Kelce, no stranger to the penalty box, absorbed the hit with his characteristic shrug, but it begs the question. In a game built on bravado, where does spirited celebration cross into sanctionable territory? Context is key here. The Chiefs-Eagles tilt wasn't just any regular season opener, it was a Super Bowl rematch, laced with bad blood from Philadelphia's narrow victory the previous February. Tensions simmered from kickoff, exacerbated by the electric atmosphere of a primetime slot. Kelce, at 35, is in the twilight of a Hall of Fame-caliber career, chasing a third straight Lombardi trophy with a fire that borders on ferocity. That fire boiled over earlier in the game during the second quarter, when frustration peaked after a dropped pass or botched route, details fuzzy in the heat of battle. In a flash of red-hot anger, Kelce ripped off his helmet and hurled it to the turf, the plastic cracking like thunder against the field. Broadcast cameras caught his expletive-laced tirade, lips forming what appeared to be, "I'm sick of this ST," a raw outburst that echoed the sentiments of every player who's ever felt the weight of expectation crushed down mid-play. This wasn't Kelce's first rodeo with fines. Last season's AFC Championship clash against the Buffalo Bills saw him dinged $11,255 for taunting Bills safety Damar Hamlin, a moment that sparked backlash given Hamlin's own cardiac arrest scare the year prior. Kelce owned it then as he does now, turning accountability into a cornerstone of his brand. On his New Heights podcast with brother Jason, he dissected the incident with unflinching honesty, framing it not as defiance but as human frailty. "Passion's what fuels us," he mused, voice gravelly from post-game wear. "But yeah, I crossed a line. Gotta reel it in for the team." His reflections extend beyond self-flagellation. They touch on the broader psyche of professional football, where mental fortitude is as crucial as physical prowess. In a league increasingly attuned to player wellness, post-Ramsey rule, concussion protocols, Kelce's lapses highlight the ongoing tug-of-war between unleashing the beast and harnessing it. The fine's optics are telling. At $14,491, it's a precise calculus, calibrated to sting without sidelining, a reminder that the NFL is as much business as blood sport. Comparatively, Eagles running back Saquon Barkley copped a steeper $46,371 for helmet-to-helmet contact with Chiefs defensive back Shamari Connor, underscoring the league's tiered penalties. Player safety trumps showmanship. For Kelce, whose off-field empire, endorsements with Pfizer, State Farm and that omnipresent Swift synergy, dwarfs his on-field earnings, the deduction is more symbolic than seismic. Yet it resonates, painting him as the everyman athlete, flawed, fiery and fiercely committed. Teammates rally around him. Mahomes, the Zen maestro, quipped post-game, "Trav's our spark plug. Sometimes they overheat but we cool him down." Kelce's response? Pure Travis. A mix of remorse and resilience. Just days prior, he'd shouldered blame for inadvertently sidelining rookie wideout Xavier Worthy with a shoulder injury during the season opener against the Chargers. "IOX big time," he confessed on the podcast, voice cracking with regret. 13 years and no excuse for blindsided hits on my own guy. That vulnerability, paired with his relentless work ethic, extra film sessions, yoga for flexibility, endears him to fans. It's why Kelce mania endures, from tailgates chanting his name to Swifties co-opting him as pop culture's ultimate hype man. This fine then isn't a setback but a subplot in his redemption arc, a chapter where the jester learns the court's rules without losing his jest. Broader implications ripple outward. The NFL's gesture crackdown aligns with efforts to sanitize the sport for younger audiences, amid declining youth participation and rising concussion lawsuits. Yet critics argue it stifles the pageantry that draws 17 million viewers weekly. Kelce unwittingly becomes the poster child for this debate, his gesture a Rorschach test. Vulgarity to purists, victory lap to diehards. As the Chiefs march toward playoff contention, eyes will be on Arrowhead for signs of tempered Travis. Will he channel that energy into touchdowns rather than tantrums? History suggests yes, his 1,000-plus yard seasons are testaments to adaptation. In the end, this $14,491 fine is but a footnote in Kelce's epic, a momentary static in a symphony of sprints and scores. It humanizes the hero, reminding us that even gridiron gods stumble, swear, and pay the piper. As he laces up for the next clash, one thing's certain: Travis Kelce will keep bringing the heat, fines be damned. The game and its gladiators demands nothing less.